We are diving into something many people can relate to, bad boss syndrome.
We don't have that here, just to be clear. Amy Summers is an entrepreneur, speaker, and author of Lift 10 Mentorship Touchpoints to empower your team and accelerate your career. She joins us now to talk about how to transform a negative workspace into opportunity. Amy, thank you so much for joining us here on ARC Seattle.
Thanks for having me.
So you talk about this idea of bad boss syndrome. First, explain what that is, and you say it's contagious. What do you mean by that?
Well, whenever a leader is leading through fear or ego, it spreads really fast like a virus, and people start mimicking that behavior mainly to survive in that environment and not really to succeed. So, but good leadership is contagious too. We just need to do more of it.
Okay, I think so as well, and we're going to get more into that. But why do you think poor leadership habits have even become so common in the workplace today?
You know, I think that we're really focused on performance, and there's a disconnect with people, and some of that could do with our remote and hybrid environments. Maybe we're not getting enough face time with others, but we've kind of dehumanized our teams through technology, and I think it's really important to remember to have those human touch points with people.
You talked about mentorship as a way to address this problem of bad boss syndrome. How does that help cure the problem?
Well, mentorship turns management into connection. So instead of managing people, we always just want to lead with a mentorship mentality. And I think it's become a trendy word now. So people will talk about mentorship programs or they have to have a mentor, but it's really not that hard. We've made it a lot more difficult than it is. It's just being human. And it's just thinking about the person and helping them rise. And as you help them rise, you'll rise as well.
Rise together. Another one of your key points is to lead with curiosity, not control. How can a leader put that into action day to day?
So I think whenever you're leading a team, it's easy to go into the boss mode. I have to watch myself doing this all the time, which is just giving orders and telling people what to do. But remember, your team's kind of there on the ground floor and they're running things. So maybe start with, instead of an order, just how are things going? Or what do you think about this? Or that's the curiosity piece, getting feedback from them before giving a directive.
I know you also encourage people to praise progress, not perfection, which so many of us strive for in the workplace. Mm-hmm. Why is that shift in mindset so important for leaders and teams at the same time?
Well, perfection is just not sustainable for anybody. It can be very isolating and it can cause burnout. So it's really the leader's role, the boss or the manager, to check in with your team and give them praise as progress is being made. You know, we want to see at different points in the project how it's going, give them praise for that. That's going to really build a lot of momentum instead of just waiting for that final product.
I like that, not waiting until they reach perfectionism, because that isn't even real, right?
Yeah.
So you mentioned that how we show up matters because people are always watching. What can individuals do to model better behavior at work, even if they're not in charge?
Well, I always say that everybody's a mentor, whether you want to be or not. So you're either modeling the right way to do it or the wrong way to do it. So we see this in all areas of our lives. And mentorship is not a title. So anybody can be a mentor at any time in any position. And people are watching. So whether it's your coworker at work or that 2-year-old at home, I mean, you're being watched all the time. And it's likely that your behavior will be mimicked. So if you're in any position of power or leadership, or you're in charge of anybody, you really have to think about, you know, what are you doing and how are you leading? Because you want to lead how you would want to be led.
One thing that just popped in my mind is I know that we're talking about progress and perfection and inspiring workers. What about when issues arise where things maybe can be done in a better way? Is there a better approach that leaders or bosses can take to maybe address those issues that pop up or some criticism? How should they approach that in a better way?
So constructive feedback is really important, and I think again, sometimes we get this idea that mentorship is this warm and fuzzy thing, or just having coffee and getting built up all the time, but that's not the only aspect of mentorship. And good mentorship is someone, speaking truth about how someone's doing, giving them real-time feedback, helping them get stronger. If you're an Olympic athlete, your coach isn't going to not tell you what you need to do better. So I always remind people of that too. Mentorship isn't always comfortable, but you need to be pushed out of your comfort zone so that you can, improve and get better. And it's really the leader's job to, point that out and not pick up the pieces for your team, not do it for themselves and get frustrated. Show them how to do it. If they do it wrong, have them redo it.
Great advice. Thank you so much, Amy, for coming on the show. Where can we find your book?
Well, lifttolead.com, and that's where you can get all the information on the book. It'll be out in February, but we have a lot of details there on how you can stay connected and get some good mentorship advice in the meantime.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. Nice that the resources are available on the site before the book comes out in February. But yeah, I love all those tips. The praising progress over perfection really spoke to me.
It's just not sustainable. It's not even possible to think that you can be perfect in a role in the workforce. There's always going to be things that each of us can improve upon, whatever type of role we're in, and it's good to be praised when you do make that progress. And also, it's important to address some of the issues when they come up, just so those can be addressed.
Yeah, I like that you asked that question. Well, we're covering all the biggest local sports headlines right now.